Hello, I'm Abhishek Singh. This project is a final capstone submission for the 5-day AI Agents Intensive Vibecoding course with Google. Traditionally, building an application meant sinking dozens of hours into writing repetitive boilerplate code before you could begin testing your core features. Developers often spend their afternoons tracking down a missing semicolon, untangling local configuration files, and fighting with your deployment environment to get a basic server running. This manual labor drains creative energy. It forces humans to function like machines, executing syntax line by line, instead of acting as the architects who design the product. This repository introduces a different approach to software development, a concept known as Vibecoding. You act as the executive director, focusing on high-level specs and creative direction rather than individual lines of syntax. You pitch the raw ideas and set the vibe. As shown in this organizational flowchart, from that single human command node at the top, a coordinated network of specialized AI agents takes over to build the product. This collaborative workspace converts natural language imagination into functional software, bridging the gap between a concept and its code. The engine making this possible is Google's Agent Development Kit, or ADK. This framework allows developers to bind an advanced large language model, like Gemini, to custom instructions, operational rules, and native system tools. Looking at the architectural breakdown, the system lives inside a specific folder called .agents. This acts as the digital office where the autonomous developer team operates around a central LLM core. The team consists of 4 specific personas: a product manager, a full-stack engineer, a QA engineer, and a DevOps specialist. Each agent is a role-bound specialist, executing a tightly orchestrated multi-agent workflow governed by the specific rules and tools defined in the system folder. The entire process begins with one specific command, /start cycle, followed by your app idea. This pipeline visualization shows the first step in action. The product manager analyzes your prompt and drafts a comprehensive technical specification document covering architecture, dependencies, and state management. The system then pauses. It waits at this manual gate for your explicit approval, allowing you to review the specs and request changes before any code is written. Once approved, the full-stack engineer takes over. It reads the specification, scaffolds the back-end and front-end structures, and writes the complete codebase directly to the build directory. Next, the QA engineer scans that build directory. It checks the code against the original specifications, hunts down unhandled errors or dependency mismatches, and rewrites the files to fix them. Finally, the DevOps agent analyzes the verified stack. It installs the necessary libraries and either hosts the application locally or containerizes it and deploys it live to Google Cloud Run. Because each specialist handles their exact portion of the pipeline, you move seamlessly from a raw idea to a live, clickable URL without manually writing the code yourself. In this system, a developer can move from concept to prototype in minutes, freeing you to focus on strategy rather than debugging boilerplate. The agents ensure clean context transitions between the different phases of development, giving you a standardized, reliable way to scale your output. To run this yourself, you need local runtimes, like Node.js or Python, along with the Google Cloud CLI for serverless deployments, and an agent execution engine like Antigravity. You can adjust how the agents behave by editing the .agents markdown files, such as requiring the engineer to write unit tests or use a specific styling system. The orchestration pipeline handles the mechanics of writing and deploying the code, leaving the human developer responsible for architecture, vision, and user experience. This capstone project proves that the philosophy of Vibecoding can be translated into a functional, deployable tool. To try this pipeline for yourself, check the description and clone the Abhishek-Singh 004/AI Agents Orchestration repository. With this powerful new framework, anyone can now hire, direct, and deploy their very own autonomous development team to build the future.